have ever wondered how to start a journaling practice, then I am so excited that you're going to watch this video with me today, because in today's video I want to talk with you about all of the things that you need to know if you want to start a journaling practice. So I would say, let's get started. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Arndt and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer, and I am so excited that you're here today because if you have been watching my YouTube channel over the last couple of years, you know I have a huge love for journaling. I journal all the time, I talk about journaling all the time. It is a huge tool, a really important self-development and self-growth and self-journey tool in order to learn more about yourself. And so in today's video, by the way, I can't believe I have not recorded a video on this topic before because it is kind of obvious that I should talk about this. But in today's video, I want to talk with you about how to get started, what kind of things to consider, how to just kind of get into journaling, and I want to give you a couple of different options as well in terms of journaling prompts in order to really help you set yourself up for success. So in the first part of today's video, I want to talk with you a little bit about the things that you should consider and how to get started. So let's talk about step number one. In the first step, I want you to get really clear on what is your motivation to start journaling. Why do you want to start journaling? Maybe you have heard people talk about journaling, maybe you have watched my videos and you know that journaling is such an important practice for me and you're kind of curious about it. Maybe you're a little bit desperate and anxious and you want to find a tool that works for you in order to manage those kind of different feelings. There are so many amazing benefits to journaling, and so I want you to take a moment and to really reflect on why do you want to start a journaling practice. Is it in order to help you with your anxiety? Is it in order to help you to start the self-growth journey? Is it in order to get more aware of the things that you're doing in order to obviously create awareness and start taking different actions? Maybe you also want to journal in order to keep track on the things that you're doing or not doing. There are many different benefits again to journaling, so get really clear on why do you want to start a journaling practice. In the second step then, I want you to also ask yourself the question, how often do you want to start writing? Do you want to have a journaling practice on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a occasion by occasion, scenario by scenario, and situation by situation basis? It's totally up to you. There's no right or wrong. But I think especially at the beginning, if you want to start getting into a journaling practice, it might be really helpful to define the cadence of how often you want to write. And I have a couple of different thoughts on that I'm going to share later on in the video when I talk a little bit more about different journaling prompts and the options that you have in order to start a journaling practice. But in the second step, I just want you to get really clear on how often do you want to write. The next question then that you should ask yourself, which is also equally a super important one, is the question, do you want to self-reflect and free write, or would you like to have journaling prompts? It's a big question because some people really like to journal just freely and they just want to write down their thoughts and feelings and the things that have happened on a day-to-day basis. Or some of you might feel like it might be a little bit easier to get started when you have a couple of different journaling prompts in order to trigger some thoughts and insights and feelings and situations and so on. So in the next step, get really clear on how you want to write. In step number 4, you want to choose where you want to write your thoughts and feelings down. Do you like to write into a digital diary, right? Maybe you want to write notes on your phone or on your computer. Or would you like to write into a paper journal? What kind of journal? There's obviously a million different kinds of planners and journals out there. They're super beautiful, and I do find it really helpful to have something that you love to take into your hands every single day, because just the book itself brings you a lot of pleasure, and that's really beautiful, right? So think about, do you want to have a digital journal or would you like to have a paper journal? And then obviously you also want to get clear on, would you like to have just a white journal with blank pages, a journal with lined pages, or do you want a journal with journaling prompts? So again, make that decision, and we're jumping right into the next step then as well. And the final step that I want to share with you in order to start a journaling practice, and that also brings me into the next part of this video today, where I want to share a little bit more about how to really get started, is more of a tip than a decision to make, which is make sure that you're seeing your journal on a daily or monthly or weekly basis, depending on the cadence that you have decided to do in the previous step, right? Because at the beginning, because it is not a habit for you to write, it might be really difficult to find that cadence and to find that rhythm of journaling on a regular basis. Which is why I find it super helpful, especially if you have a paper planner or journal, to put it somewhere where you can see it every single day, where it reminds you to actually take that action. Visually, it makes a huge difference. This is something that I've been figuring out over the last couple of years as I've been building different routines and habits. And by the way, if you're curious to learn more about how to build a habit and routines, make sure to check out all of these different videos. But this is something that's really helped me to stay consistent with my goals and to have those visual reminders everywhere in my house or where I'm going, in order to make sure that I'm sticking to the goals that I have set for myself. So visual cues and reminders are super important. So have your journal, for example, at your bedside table or in the kitchen or somewhere where you really like to write and where you pass the table or that place every single day or every single week, in order to really make sure that you're getting those visual cues as well. And that brings me now into a little bit more of an action-oriented next step, which is obviously how to get started, how to write. So once you have made all of these different decisions, then obviously it is time to start writing. And maybe you decided to free journal, which is totally okay. So hopefully those 4 to 5 steps that I just shared with you are really, really helpful for you to just get started and find a starting point. And if you would prefer to have a little bit more of guidance as you are starting your journaling practice, which is so beautiful and I'm so excited for you, then I want to give you obviously a couple of different journaling prompts that I have found very, very helpful for a lot of the clients that I work with, and obviously for myself as well. Quick side story to that, I actually have a 10-week online program where I ask all of the participants of the program to start doing these daily logs in order to start building that awareness. And a lot of people always come to me, and especially at the beginning, and they tell me, oh, I don't really want to do this, I don't really have a journaling practice, I find this kind of tedious. And I challenge them and I tell them, just do it for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks and see what comes up for you. And then people do it because they signed up for the program and they obviously want to make changes in their lives, and they come back to me after a couple of weeks and they tell me, wow, even though I might not have done this every single day, but I've done it a few times over the course of a couple of weeks, and it's given me so much insight, because just the sheer moment of taking a little bit of time out of your busy day every single day or on just a regular basis in general is so powerful in order to provide insights about how you're currently doing, how you're feeling, what kind of thoughts are on your mind, what you did for yourself, right? So those are all kind of journaling prompts that I like to give people in order to start reflecting on why they feel the way they feel. So without further ado, let me give you the 5 most powerful journaling prompts that you can start with if you want to start a journaling practice on a regular basis. And these 5 journaling prompts are the following. Number 1, how are you feeling today on a scale of 1 to 10? Number 2, what are you grateful for? Number 3, what did you do for yourself today? Number 4, what were the most prominent thoughts on your mind today? And finally, what can you celebrate today? So 5 super simple journaling prompts, and they can make all the difference. And so here's the next thing. I don't want you to obviously just do this once and then forget about it again. The power of journaling comes from doing it on a regular basis. So what I encourage you to do in order to build this journaling practice and habit is to challenge yourself to do this consistently for a specific period of time. So for example, maybe you want to do this for 30 days over the next 30 days every single day, or maybe 3 times a week. So if you do want to do that, then make sure that you're getting obviously really clear on the cadence again. So how often are you actually going to do this challenge? Are you going to do this daily, or maybe every other day, or every 3 days? And then I would really encourage you to use those 5 same journaling prompts and answer these simple questions every single time you sit down to write. Because when you are starting to build awareness about these different questions, and you build awareness and insight into the inside of yourself, right? The insides of your feelings and your thoughts and the things that you're doing for yourself, or maybe the things that you're not doing for yourself, then you can start to see a kind of a, what's the word that I'm looking for? Then you can see a trend. That's what I wanted to say. You can see a trend. So you want to make sure that you're doing this on a regular basis in order to just open up your mind. And I see journaling as a self-care practice in itself, because it really creates that sacred space for myself to just sit with myself. And it's so, so powerful. No matter if you do it for 2 minutes a day or 60 minutes a day. So this is one option. That's option number 1 of how you can start your journaling practice. You can use those different pre-written journaling prompts in order to help you get started. And then the other option that I have for you is my challenge that I ran in January of 2023. I ran a 30-day journaling prompt challenge with 31, I guess, because January has 31 days, with 31 different journaling prompts every day of the month of January. And obviously it doesn't have to be January for you to do this. So you can go to my Instagram account and you can go on my reels or my page. Both of those have the journaling prompts on there, and just go through each of these journaling prompts on a daily basis as you're starting to build this journaling practice. And that might be really fun and insightful as well, especially because it changes it up and you can see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Last but not least, if you are looking for a planner with journaling prompts, obviously I have the Peak Performance Planner, which is this beautiful planner here. You can get the Peak Performance Planner on Amazon. And if you're looking for a journaling prompt planner, this is the one for you. I love my Peak Performance Planner. I created it based on the insights that I gained over the last couple of years running this business, and I hope that it helps you too. And if you are curious about the planner, I also have a series on my YouTube channel called Plan With Me, and I record a new video every single month for you in order to share with you different journaling prompts and help you to build a journaling practice. So there's a lot of different things out there for you. You just need to pick one and take action. That is the most important thing, because that's going to make the difference between you being successful and actually starting a journaling practice, and obviously not so. So that's all I wanted to share for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment down below. And yeah, that's all I wanted to share with you. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself, and I hope to see you really soon.